In this clip, we're going to see Piers Morgan absolutely humiliate himself and expose his complete hypocrisy when it comes to dealing with the dead on the right versus the left. And I want to give you guys a direct comparison between what was said and exactly what Charlie Kirk done as well. Let's watch the clip in full. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts throughout and then towards the end.
During his memorial service, you felt the need to just live post a lot of crap about him. Did nothing make you think, hang on, let's just let them have the memorial service, then we can get back into this stuff? It looked to me like you weren't prepared to give Charlie Kirk a beat of humanity.
So I've heard a lot about mercy and love and forgiveness today, except also a desire for vengeance for the left. So let me do something different. And in response to you, Piers, let me actually unify all of us, and let's bring the temperature down. First and foremost, I think every single person on this panel condemns the horrible murder of Charlie Kirk by a 22-year-old white man from a conservative Christian family who was apolitical, according to all the evidence, and was radicalized online, as Tim said, and most likely radicalized because he heard or thought he heard homophobic comments by Charlie Kirk, one of us, as the Republican governor of Utah said. Not a lefty, not Antifa, not
actually. That's not what the governor said. Sorry, just to be clear. No, just to be clear, the governor Spencer Cox. Hang on, just to be clear, because I had this debate a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, I went back and checked, and the governor Spencer Cox was crystal clear that the investigators so far are working on the belief, from what they've found out, that this kid had been radicalized by a leftist ideology. That was what he said. So when you say there's no suggestion of that, that's not true.
You interrupted all of them. Let me just say my piece, and then I'll lower the temperature. And facts matter. As of just 2 days ago, the FBI sources have said that they find no credible evidence that he was far left. And I'll be fair, no credible evidence that he's far right. This was a man who was radicalized online, 22-year-old white man, not the left. He wasn't transgender. He wasn't Antifa. He wasn't progressives. That's a fact.
You don't know any of that.
Temperature. Let's lower the temperature.
You're not dialing down the temperature. You're
Absolutely. I'm saying
you're removing any accountability for the way that some of the investigation appears to be leading. I think we should wait. But I don't think that when someone puts anti-fascist on the bullet casings, it's a bit of a clue.
Can he answer your question, Piers? You asked him why was he a scumbag yesterday by live tweeting and saying horrendous things on Charlie Kirk's memorial.
That was Carrie.
Yeah,
Carrie,
no,
listen, lying is a sin in Christianity. Carrie, lying is a sin in Christianity. So let me respond. Let me respond.
No, I called you that. And why did you do that yesterday? I also believe in Jesus,
and Jesus doesn't like liars. All right, now let's listen to this real quick. The person who used the word scumbag, and this is where I'm going to say I defended Charlie Kirk because he is a free speech maximalist. In his life, Charlie Kirk used his words to mock the living and the dead. He had every right to. He used the word scumbag to describe George Floyd, who was murdered by a cop. He had every right to. He said MLK was an awful person. He has every right to. He said he was against the Civil Rights Act. He had every right to. Charlie Kirk would also agree with me and other Republicans right now, including Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, other conservatives, or those who are loved by conservatives like Tim Dillon, Ben Shapiro, in that the president of the United States, President Trump, the leader of the country and the leader of MAGA, should not abuse and use his death to do what? Abuse his powers to cancel critics like Jimmy Kimmel. I think Charlie Kirk, in his words, with his life, if we look at what he said, would say, you know what? My critics can debate me, they can mock me. His producer said that Charlie Kirk actually enjoyed South Park criticizing him, and that South
Park. Yeah, but that wasn't my question. And to be fair, hang on, everybody. Hang on, just to be clear with Wajahat. Like I said to you at the start, Charlie Kirk, right, would not be the one to complain about this. I was simply asking you that you wanted to tone things down. Do you not think, on a human level, it was just inappropriate? Never mind anything else. It showed a lack of humanity to just be bombarding on your X feed endless trash talk about Charlie Kirk as there was a memorial service to his life.
So what's funny for me is the complete hypocrisy from Piers Morgan, Carrie Lake, and all of these people on the right. Carrie Lake actually walked into this one and pretty much humiliated herself. She used the word scumbag, not understanding that Charlie Kirk himself called George Floyd, a man who was killed by a police officer, a scumbag. Let's roll the tape just so that you guys can see it yourself.
We're going to offer some context and some nuance about the death of George Floyd that no one dares to say out loud, which is that this guy was a scumbag. Now, does that mean it deserves to die? That's two totally different things. Of course not. But we're going to offer
So 100%, and let me just put the disclaimer out there so anyone that on the right that finds this video comes and tries to say, oh, you wanted him. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be killed for his views. Let's just make that clear. He did not deserve to be killed for his views. But for all of these people that are on the right to come and try and berate people on the left because of the fact that they're doing the exact same thing that Charlie Kirk was doing to people is hypocrisy at its finest. And it just shows that these people have absolutely no self-awareness. Seeing the right and the way they conduct and carry themselves since Charlie Kirk was murdered has been one of the most confusing things for me, as the channel is called Just the Confused Brit, simply because it makes zero sense. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Because Charlie Kirk himself engaged in all of the things that the right are crying about that people on the left are doing. Charlie Kirk done that. Charlie Kirk was making fun of George Floyd, said bad things about Martin Luther King, had negative things to say about Breonna Taylor, once again, a lady who was killed by law enforcement. Charlie Kirk himself done this. So why is it that people like Piers Morgan, Carrie Lake, and so many people on the right are twisting themselves into pretzels, getting so agitated and frustrated, angry and annoyed when it comes to people allowing and utilizing their God-given right, their constitutional right, which is free speech, to criticize and say negative things about Charlie Kirk? There should be absolutely no problem whatsoever. And this is the thing for me. If these guys really wanted to honor Charlie Kirk, they really wanted it to, they would not be criticizing people for utilizing their free speech. Because if Charlie Kirk really stood up for what he said he did, which I actually believe that he did, is that people should be able to say negative things, criticize people, whether living or dead, and there should not be cancel culture attached to it. Because that's exactly what Charlie Kirk did himself. He shared his point of view, and I can guarantee if I was to go onto Piers Morgan's Twitter feed, I guarantee I would not see anything of Piers Morgan shutting down, criticizing, saying anything negative about Charlie Kirk for his use of the word scumbag when it comes to George Floyd. The hypocrisy and the lack of self-awareness on the right now is so rife, I genuinely cannot believe what it is that I'm watching. I can't believe what it is that I'm seeing. It's absolutely mental to me. Let me know what you guys think about this clip in the comment section down below. While you guys are down there, do me a massive favor, give this video a thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. We're not too far away from 70,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. But, you know, let's do what we can and let's get this channel to 70,000 subscribers ASAP. I appreciate you guys and I'll see you guys in the next one.